All right, so this is, they call it Catalyst now, Jungle Scout. This is what they call their orange product. And then so I've clicked on product database. And we can click on tools and home improvement. And then we can enter a bunch of data. Now, what's interesting about when we fill out this data is it's going to search all of Amazon's database. Now, Jungle Scout's a partner. Jungle Scout is a partner of Data Dive. And what it allows us to do is get access to their data. They've got the best data in the industry. And they spend millions of dollars a year scraping and gathering and enriching data. We bring it in. It's one of our data sources, one of our main data sources. We have 5 different data sources. And they have great data. So this tool is something we wouldn't want to build because like they have access to the entire catalog. They scrape the entire catalog on an almost daily basis, right? Like almost the entire catalog. And that's a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to do this. So this tool is so powerful, right? And so what this is going to allow us to do is once we fill in some stuff, we're going to go see exactly what's selling today that meets all this criteria. Now, we don't want to put too wide of a criteria because if we put too wide of a criteria, we're going to end up with like 1,000 results. And that's a lot of like products to go through. That's way too many. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a small slice, just a small teeny slice, 25 results, 50 results. And if we can get a small slice and then we analyze it, we can move the needle a little bit and then look at the next small slice. And if we don't find anything there, we find something in there, but we want to keep going, we can look at the next slice and the next slice and the next slice. What we need to do is open up a spreadsheet and keep track of the price that we're putting in and these different filters we're putting in. And then we can even, in the different columns, we can even copy over. If you want, I'll do that as well. So let me stop sharing real quick and then I'll create a quick document, spin up a document and show you exactly what I'm going to do that you guys should be doing. Okay. And we should design something for this research section, Marlene. We should have like Carolina and Natasha design something that is basically this document, right? Like it's super simple. It's really just like the search parameters, the category, the price point, and like any results you find or whatever. It's, make it a little bit prettier than just a rough sheet, but also somewhere for people to keep track of it. And then I would just do by day, right? You just duplicate it by day. So, so we're going to call this sheet product research, Jungle Scout, and private label. All right, we'll do that. And let me share again for you. There we go. Yeah, no problem, Jason. I understand. All right, we're going to do category. We're going to do price low, price high. We're going to do sales low, sales high. That's basically it. And then we could do a result 1, result 2, result 3, result 4, and so on, right? And that'll be enough for now. We can always add more if we need them. And then these will be ours quick. We'll just hyperlink out from here with the name of the product. And we're going to freeze this row. Here we go. We got it. Let's come back over here. And we are doing tools. Now, I've got to get something in my matrix. So I've got to jump back over to my matrix. And if you remember, I wanted something selling like close to 30 a day. And so that means I need something that costs me like $10 or $12 landed, which means I need something in that 40 to 50 price point. So let me do price low. Watch how little of a sliver I'm going to do. I'm going to do 38 to 41. And I'm going to do 29 to 32. I'm going to see what comes up. So price point is 38 to 41. And units sold. Is this monthly or weekly? Monthly, okay. So monthly sold. So I need to, what did I say? 29, so I'm almost 900. So I'm going to do 890 to 910. So let me switch my spreadsheet here. 890 to 910. And if this is too many results, I'll narrow it again. But this is where I'm at, right? I'm not worrying about really any of these others. The only other thing that I'll do is you could do here like oversized or standard. I want to look at it all. I do want to know major brands that are in the area, but if I'm getting too many, then I'll do it. But I'm just going to go search. So in order to remove major brands, you could get rid of number of sellers. Yeah, number of sellers on the listing. If I put a max of like 2 or 3 sellers, that means that it's likely a private label product. But if there's 10 sellers selling the same product, it's probably a major brand with a bunch of wholesalers on it. So I could get rid of the major brands if I have a bunch of major brands showing up, right? But it doesn't look like it. I've got 72 results. Perfect. That's that small slice we were talking about. This isn't too many for me to go through. If it was 172, I might narrow it, right? It would be a lot, right? I don't want to necessarily go through 172 products. And the reason that I do that is now I can take a different slice. The only problem with this method, and it's not a major problem, but the only problem is that we don't know if the results of these guys, if this guy right here, is he the 5th bestseller? Is he the 25th bestseller? Or is he the bestseller, right? Because I have a limited budget. And if he's the 10th bestseller, I can probably beat him, right? I'm going to find out that I can beat him, and actually I can sell a lot more units than I thought. And then that's a problem, right? So, because I don't have the money for it. So we need to go in and analyze the niche. But what I'm looking for is like these, I want these to be some of the bestsellers. 2nd, 3rd, 4th bestseller is like ideal because I can probably match their sales or beat them. I don't think I can come in and become the bestseller of a niche in the first month, 2 months, right? It's not very realistic most of the time. But I can probably come in and be the 3rd bestseller, right? Like once I look at the data, I'm going to be able to tell you you'll be able to tell yourself too. But I can tell you once we pull up a master keyword list, how clear it's going to be. So units sold is here, right? And this is interesting. So 24-inch stainless steel rulers. This is oversized, right? There's a maximum size of a package in order for it to be standard, and that is generally 9 by 14 by 18, right? So your 2nd longest side can be no more than 14, your 3rd longest side can be no more than 9, and your longest side cannot be more than 18. If any of those sides are too long, like if it's a square product or whatever, and it's 14 by 14, no good, right? Because the 3rd can't be more than 9. So those, this is clearly 24 inches. So it's oversized simply because it's a ruler. It's expensive. Now they're selling a 2-pack, which is interesting. Maybe we could sell a 3 or 4-pack, but how many 24-inch stainless steel rulers does someone need is the question, right? So once you ask yourself that. So we're always looking at ideas on how we can iterate on the listing, add more value. We got to ship this thing anyway. Adding a 3rd ruler doesn't cost us any more for fulfillment. So we can really, and this ruler costs us $1, couple bucks maximum for stainless steel, right? So how much is it really going to cost us to add a 3rd ruler? But the question is, how many people need a 3rd ruler, right? Maybe we're better off with a 6-pack because people need it for schools or for work jobs, and they're handing it out to the entire job. Maybe they're buying it to resell it in their local store, but they're probably not buying it on Amazon for that because of the fulfillment fees. So, you know, there's all these questions. So I would probably pass on that. And what is this? And literally, this is the process. I'm going to go product by product right now, and I'm going to think to myself, how can I win? Wiring is tough. Insulated copper wire, probably not going to sell it. Very specific. I think that Marine Solar Extension, this is a Chinese seller. I did find a supplier for this when I was in China at one point. Very interesting. Now, 2-pack smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detector. Battery powered with test and reset buttons. This is super generic, right? It's electronic, so we typically will avoid, but I don't think this is a complicated electronic. I think that it matters that it works. Like there's a safety issue. You got to be careful. You don't want to necessarily jump into something. Now you're coming from someone who sells baby products, right? And toys. But, I don't see this as like a huge barrier. This seems like a very expensive product. So we can view it on Amazon to get more data. I'm very curious about this one, right? Now this is saying only 100 bought in the last month, but maybe the 4-pack and the 6-pack have sold more. Look, they've got 3 listings. There's 400. So like, I think as a whole, and this one is on Lightning deal. So as a whole, they're really moving. And I like the idea of being in a bundle. Looks like the 4-pack is the sweet spot at $70, but it's selling 400. Maybe this budget works and we can look at this product further. So, but my question becomes like, how do I differentiate? So that's where my mind goes next. Can I differentiate on this product in a way that plays to my strengths? I can't really reinvent carbon monoxide and smoke detector. Is there a third functionality I can add? Is there a design I can do? It says do not paint. Do people want colors? Are they allowed to have colors? Do they need to be easily identifiable? Are there rules, right? And then this is where I'm going to ask AI. So we were talking about how do we incorporate AI into what we do. So you know what? I'm going to open up ChatGPT and watch what I do here. Four-pack selling 400 at 70. I think the math works out that I would still be able to do it at 50, but we'll see. Here's ChatGPT. All right. Oh, let me go grab the image. I'm going to paste the image in here. I'm looking to potentially sell a smoke and carbon monoxide detector similar to these. 4-packs seem to sell the best. How can I differentiate to make a disruptable product, right? Now, I'm going to leave it at that. I've trained my agent already around like being great at marketing. I've fed it information. ChatGPT is great. Now, Gemini is fantastic. Gemini 2.5 is actually a really good AI agent, but the problem is it has no memory. And the amnesia on it is far worse than ChatGPT right now. But it's good at making some images if you give it all the instructions. So you can work with ChatGPT, have it write out the requirements, use the seed images, and then get some ideas, get some images. And we're going to work on some of that in the next class on Wednesday. But I'm just looking for ideas. And I've got a whole matrix. Once I validate a product, I've got a few different prompts I'm going to give you guys to use. But I'm very curious. Before I even go analyze this, how would I even differentiate this product? Like, where does my mind need to go? So, smart features without app hassle or with easy app integration. So, was there an app on this one? I did not even see if there was style, battery, power source, color, white, alarm. No, there was no app. So they're talking about creating an app. That's cool, right? Like, what if like you get the warning to an app that when you're not even home, so you don't even walk in the house? Or what if you get the warning in case someone's at home or your pets are at home, right? Boom, we've got something that can save your pets' lives, because your pets, if it starts going off, they're not going to be able to get out of the house, right? So boom, that's like a massive idea right there. Easy app integration, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, remote status checks, low battery alerts, historical data and trends, easy pairing. Maybe you can see like movement when you're taking a shower, so you get historical data. This is freaking amazing. Look what AI just gave us as an idea for this. We can revolutionize smoke and carbon monoxide detection. Now, does it already exist? I don't know, right? I love the idea. But aesthetic for modern homes, I went to like colors and I was like, is that even loud, right? That's the second idea. Think about what we're doing with AI right now. We just asked a robot, presumably the smartest ever created, with all the knowledge in the world, how do we disrupt a market? Two massive ideas, 1 and 2. How incredible is that, right? Now, you need more than one in a house. That's why the 4 is probably selling well, right? You probably want them in different sections of your house, minimum. Per square feet, you want a certain number of them. So this is massive. Like I'm absolutely blown away. What I would do now, let me go back to that screen. What I would do now is I would say, okay, I love the idea of colors and a simple APP with remote monitoring and historical data. We can see potential spikes when different appliances are home are on. We can protect pets and loved ones remotely, right? And I love the idea of aesthetics. Do any exist on the market with an APP? Tell me their features and links and to the top 3 if they do. And price points. All right. You're absolutely right. There are already smart smoke and carbon monoxide combo detectors on the market that offer usable aesthetics, remote monitoring. Google Nest Protect. Second generation, the premium smart standard. App alerts and remote monitoring. Sends mobile notifications when smoke or CO is detected or on low battery. Okay. Voice alerts or interconnected warnings. All other speak location-based messages. Smoke upstairs. Elegant design. Available in white or black. Slim profile plus motion-activated ambient night light. Okay. And they're $149 a unit. That's insane, right? Now they do other things, right? And then Xsense. Here we go. Here's one here. $45 each. $45 for a 1-pack. Up to 12 family members can share access on this. Optional fire display, carbon monoxide. What if they have carbon dioxide too? Like that's important. Carbon dioxide buildup is important for people that for longevity. That's like a life benefit, like a longevity benefit. CO2 buildup. That's $99 to $130 for a 3-unit kit. This is probably one of our biggest competitors here. Recommended based on your vision. I think we can make something better looking than this too. All right. So now we go look at this on Amazon. Let's see how the Xsense is selling. So design mine with the app in the background. I'll sell it. Sell a 4-pack for $99. Design it with the most likely design to appeal to consumers. Mock it up after writing requirements. We're going to get into this in the next class, but I was just curious. I just like to do that. All right. Here's our product design requirements. We're going to go do that. I'm going to go look up the Xsense in the meantime. So let me stop sharing. Let's go to Amazon. Xsense. All right, 3-pack for $75. Here's the one with the app, right? Smart smoke detector. Look at how many units they've sold. This is a 5-pack for 160. 2,000 bought in the last month. Here's their 3-pack that we looked at on Lightning Deal for 91. I don't know if these are different listings. They've got their 1, 3, 6, and 12 or 10. There's an opportunity to come in at 4. This one's selling 1,000. This one's selling 300, and this one's selling undisclosed and 1,000. So even the single pack is selling 1,000. This is a product that would be beyond our budget based on that. But super cool to at least see. And if, let's say, we can calculate what this budget would be to get into this market. I'm guessing app development, 20,000, hosting, it's 25,000 to be on the safe side. Maybe the factory already has one that we can white label, but we still have some design work and we still want to tighten it up with security and host our own servers. And then we've got, let's say we sell 2,000 units a month for the 4-pack and 500 or 1,000 for the 1-pack. Just some simple math really quickly. 10,000, 2,500. We need over $200,000 to get into this niche. 200,000, but what is Xsense? Like, I would Google this company, I'd be like, where'd they come from? Like, who are they? Like, why do they own this market and no one else, right? Like, these other ones are in here, but they don't have an app, right? Like, do they? I don't see this one being smart. This app feature is the selling point. And to that point, we're gonna skip this product for now, simply because it's out of our budget and we got to move on. But as an exercise, take a look at this. With very little effort and a little bit of research with AI, here's ours. Shows our app, smart protection, beautiful design, remote peace of mind. Boom. We got a product. Now we can iterate on this. We're gonna maybe change the designs a little bit, but for a first draft with AI, if this doesn't blow you away and show you, and then look at this, there's a secondary option here. Smart protection, beautiful design, remote peace of mind. It gave us a tagline. It wrote all this stuff up. We have a value of $25 a unit. We're gonna sell one unit for $40. We can do it. And they'd skip the screen, so it doesn't get everything perfect, but it's a start, right? And generally this one's just better, and it missed the colors here. Like, it's not going to be perfect, but it's enough for us to maybe go test, and we're going to do that as part of the process that we do. So we're not looking, we got to go back and be data oriented when we go search for this. The little bit of research we did, we kind of like got rid of this product out of our mind, because like, we're not going to go do this smart one. The budget required is way beyond us, but pretty cool, right? Like, just from that.